Well, hey guys, welcome back. It has been quite a while since my last video. As a matter of fact, historically on the channel, it's been the longest I've gone without posting a video in several years. And the reason for that is I've had a lot of personal life developments and work life developments that have taken me away from videos. Personal life side, just real quick, lost our puppy, our dog of almost 16 years. So that was very sad for the family. And very hard for my kiddos and me and my wife. So that, and then work has been crazy. Lots of craziness at work. I'll just leave it at that. Today we're looking at the Rapido RDC. It's a Bud RDC 2-car set in Santa Fe. Really nice presentation Rapido does on these. And you can see a visualization of them over here. This is a 2-car set, as I said. If you want the item number, bam, there it is right there. 16603. These are DCC and sound equipped. Let's see what you get in this gigantic box next. So obviously you've got a sleeve here for the other boxes. So I'll just go ahead and remove this just so you see there's nothing crazy going on here. Just a cardboard sleeve, but really nice nonetheless. And on top, they talk about thanks for buying the RDCs with DCC and sound. You can consist, or you can change the value of CV29 so that these run in unison. If you want more information about that, want to read the whole thing, I recommend high def 1080p with a little gear button down in the corner, and you can pause this so you can read all about it. We'll unbox just one of these guys because I don't want to have too much repetition. Some people say my videos are too long, some say they're too short, so we'll just try to appease both today. Manual, both in English and French. This is your English side. They always have some very interesting information in these manuals. It's not dry. There's usually humor tucked away in here. And you've got some manuals, exploded parts diagrams as well tucked away in here. And then you flip it over and it's Francais, en français. So, anyway, inside here, because we don't have time to go page by manual, you've got a magnetic wand. We'll get to that purpose later. It's basically lighting. Got some extra detail parts inside, grates and whatnot, if you can see that. And box down, box in distress. We'll get that later. I'm just gonna roll with this because, like I said, this is my first video back. I don't feel like many cuts and edits as I try to get back in the swing of things. Let's just remove that, shall we? Alright, so, wow, these are tightly packed. One day, we'll get to the unboxing. There we go. Alright, so, out of the box. Plastic, soft plastic protecting this. There we go. Alright. There's the model. Let's take a closer look at the model. So there are extra bits and pieces inside that I showed you, the extra parts bags. I want to go over what those are. I usually don't. That includes the pilot cover, which goes down at the bottom here. There are window gratings or front window grills that go over here that can be placed on there. There's a roof bell, which you can install over this area here. There's a wind deflector, which can go over this area here. So those are the parts. I don't know if I mentioned them all, but those are most of the parts that were included in that bag that I showed you earlier. Alright, quickly going over details on the end. You've got a horn here placed on the cab end of the RDC, and you've got gyro lights. There's etched metal windshield wipers, windows, a rebuilt end for this Santa Fe version. Santa Fe is nicely printed. Separately applied grab irons all over. You've got the pilot down here. Nice metal couplers here. on this end. On the opposite end of the other car, you can see the safety chains inside, diaphragm, again with the window, non-operating lights, I believe, on this side, and a horn on this side as well. As we go to the side, you'll see kind of the real beauty of these cars, which is the underbody detail, which Rapido really prides itself in, and some of the cool, unique work it does. Like, for example, all the sunshades in the windows here are at different heights. Every person should have kind of a different configuration because the factory applies those randomly, which is pretty cool. Really nice plating. They put a lot of work into their plating. You get a nice, very prototypically correct looking plating on the cars. I am going to go ahead and flip this car to the side so you can see all the crazy underbody detail. There are two different silver colors here because there's two different materials used on the underbody. Another little fun fact is Rapido has an RDC that they own, so they've been able to accurately determine, you know, what's going on the underside of these things, which is a lot of detail. So I'll try to get a closer look, maybe just where it's sitting on the side so you can take that in better. Rail diesel car is what this stands for, and Santa Fe in the center. That's what the RDC stands for, but you've got actual twin motors and they don't interfere with looking through. So if we take a peek at this, I'm going to bring this up to the light. You can see all the way through the car, and there's no motor housings or anything in the way because they are low-lying motors, and there's two per car. So one over each wheel set there. So pretty cool. A little tidbit of information on the RDC. Now you do have, we talked about the magnetic lighting, I'll show you later the lighting inside, but the magnet is triggered on one end or the other of these cars. You can turn the lighting on for operation or off if it's sitting but still running, you know, in a yard somewhere or whatnot. So here's the other end, kind of more of the same of the RDC. There are some differences obviously between this car and this car. One of those major spotting differences is that there's a baggage compartment area. So this is all seating on this car, but this car is partially seating, partially baggage. So when I turn this around this way, you can see the baggage area right here. You've got a lot of rivet detail up and down the sides of these things. Just really beautiful detail on these, and it gives you another side view of the detail. All the truck detail as well. As you can see there. Okay, right now you see the lighting and the gyro light features. Gyro light's F10. We're going to go ahead and hit F8, which turns on sound for these ESU decoders. Quick note about the sound, this is actually recorded from a real RDC. I know there are some comments floating around the internet and in my inbox on my last review of the RDC asking if the sounds are real. They are correct, recorded from a real RDC. So with that said, we'll check slow speed control real quick. Since this is long, we won't be able to go too far and keep in frame, so well, not the front of it anyway. There's speed step 1. This has not had a break-in period, so we'll see how it operates. Seems very smooth out of the box. Speed step 2. 4, and 5. I'll get back here so you can see it from a side view in 1 speed step. There's 2. Another nice view of the RDCs here. 3. And a little snag there. 4. And 5. Let them kind of take off down the layout a little bit here. I think that snag was in my track. It's got a little bit of a difference in level. Right here, had to do some repairs, so it's a little at-speed run by for you. You hear the brake squeal. Now, there are several sounds. Speaking of brake squeal, we'll take a look at that in the next segment. Okay, we already looked at the headlight, the gyro light. We'll listen to the bell. Horn. Now all of the RDCs except for Via had different horns, including the large single chime, the M3H, the M5H, the K3L, the A125, the Hancock air whistle, and the K5LA. Now the default on this is the M3H. For Via RDCs, there's the K3L, which is default, and the K5LA, which is optional. F3 is straight to 4. It's a unique feature that simulates the prototypical operation of the RDCs, and they're often used in commuter or branch line services with many stops. To keep the schedule, locomotive engineers would put the throttle straight into notch 4 and let the RDC accelerate up to track speed. RDCs only have 4 notches, so when F3 is selected, you'll hear the RDC ramp up quickly to notch 4. It will stay at notch 4 until you press it again. So you already heard the brakes, which is F4. F5 is Doppler horn slow. Right now we're going to kill some lights to take a look at some of the lighting functions. So F7 dims the headlight, which you can see. It's got lit number boards on the sides there. F0 operates the light as well. So as you can see, really nice lighting. No shine through on these models, but to turn off the lighting, it's independent from functions. You just wave the wand over and that turns off the lighting. Wave it again, turns on the lighting. You can see beautiful interior detail, and lighting is just perfect. Along with those different levels of shades, really adds to the realism of these models. On the other side of the model, they've got red class lights on F9. You can see those lighting up when I press that. And they fade off when you turn them off. Now there's a lot of other features, including servicing mode. In servicing mode, when switching, rules indicate a locomotive should have both front and rear headlights on dim. So if you're tootling around your yard or locomotive maintenance facility, you press the F12 button to put both front and rear headlights on dim. So that's a cool feature. Then they've got Doppler horns. There are a few Doppler horns here. We'll go over real quick. We already went over one for the slow. Here's 14, which is a single bladder. And 15, which is a Hancock air whistle. So, that covers all the functions, most of them anyway. You can adjust sound volumes. You can do the awesome slow speed thingy, which is a back EMF by setting CV54 to 0. It's got a lifetime warranty on it. So it actually says here in the manual that they cover quite a bit in that limited lifetime warranty. So pretty cool. Overall, I'll leave you with a run by, but final thoughts before I let you go are that the paint, detail, fit, finish, operation, sound, everything is very well executed on this model. Didn't see any problems, didn't find any issues, ran pretty smoothly. I double checked the little issue where we had lurch, and it was just the difference in track, where I've got some really crappy track work over here that I am not fixing because this layout will be torn down in a matter of months. But nonetheless, everything else works great, looks great. The underbody detail is amazing, and I would highly recommend these if you are an RDC modeler. So I'm going to leave you with a run by of these, and we'll see you next time right here on my channel. Thanks for your patience with the long break, and we'll see you next time. Take care.